The plight of schools in rural Meghalaya, especially the Garo Hills region, continues to raise big questions on the education sector. In an exclusive report earlier this week, Northeast Life had highlighted the plight of students in a couple of government lower primary schools in West Garo Hills district. Well, this time it's North Garo Hills. The crumbling corridors of Khaldang Ad-hoc upper primary school in the district, where the promise of education is slowly getting buried beneath broken ceilings and years of alleged systemic neglect, tells a story of its own. Established in 1968 as a primary school and later upgraded to an ad hoc upper primary institution in 1978 during the tenure of the late Speaker P.A. Sangma, the school once stood as a symbol of hope in rural Meghalaya. Today, debt legacy teeters on the edge of collapse. With just 34 students and 4 teachers, enrollment has sharply declined as several parents have withdrawn their children, citing allegations of teacher misconduct. But the crisis runs deeper than just numbers. Accusations of financial mismanagement, irregularities in teacher recruitment, and chronic dropout rates have cast a long, dark shadow over the institution's credibility. What once a promising initiative now stands as a fading monument to forgotten promises. Infrastructure is in a state of ruin. Not a single major repair has been undertaken in decades. Aside from a single classroom added years ago, the rest of the structure is visibly deteriorating. Cracked walls, collapsing ceilings, and unsafe classrooms greet children every morning. Sanitation facilities are either broken or completely unusable. For young girls in particular, the lack of functional toilets poses daily indignities and health risk. For the community, it is a visible reminder of how far dignity has been eroded. Well, not only this, even the road leading to the school tells its own tragic tale. Forgotten and nearly impassable during the monsoon, children trudge for kilometers through knee-deep mud, their school uniforms soaked and spirits worn thin before the day even begins. Well, this journey is not just a commute, it's a daily test of resilience. Well, despite persistent complaints, the road remains in a deplorable state. The government's alleged inaction stands in stark contrast to its social media claims of progress. And what makes this neglect even more glaring is that the school falls under Resubel-Para constituency, represented by none other than the Deputy Speaker of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, Timothy Shira. Yet both the school and the road that leads to it remain in deplorable condition. Will Chief Minister Congress Sangma take note of the state of affairs? Well, we have reactions coming in from some locals. Listen in.
Sini ya Khaldang UP School singa dingtang program rang jireke singa teacher ko rakhiani biding rang singa namen problem onga manide teacher ko rakhiani ora mamung songni nokni geta mamung khansan dongja aro mamung advertisement rang ko onja aro neke Chini suni kita mamung kuba kansan donggiza shuk bisong headmaster aro school ni president aro negi bisong je MC member dongachim banggizarang dongachim wamang shuk epon kha warang ni biding rango chinga warang ko rachakna manjani gemen chinga yarang ko complain kha aro negi midday meal rang ko songani biding rango ba namen bisong irregular longa banggiza kuba 소마이랑코 작칼라리랑코 비송코 느끼나갔다 만나 아르칭아 바사코바 기세포리 아게니오바 싱아 송이자랑코 느끼나갔다 만나 아르 비사랑고 신겐 소망바 비사랑바 송이자는 분 비송바 가나니랑코 칭아 느끼나갔다 만나 마대옹자 가차라마사 농아요
남마야마
남자 블롱엔 코스토아 라마랑 와치니 소마이랑 어디엔 딱 플리 코스토아 Bisarangni ramari ani rang aru bisoni skulang ciri ang arong blongin kustunga bisoni ba rang naman sira berang am kawa simetu somai rang ode degi cha kusturang ko matna
aro maiba mayu yang bisung bisarang
bison ja ciri inga
maiba cycle rang ko on kuja
cycle nunggu barang cycle ori ya ne bang batan ja ciri inga.
All right, now I'm being joined live with my colleague Biplab De. Biplab, you know, both the condition of the roads that lead to the school and the school are in a very dilapidated condition. So raising many questions on the education sector, Biplab. So we have also heard the plight of the locals. How many students are there and how are they even taking class there?
Well, as of now, last when I visited this school, this past Friday, this past Thursday, I'm sorry, the school is actually on holiday, vacation wise. But as of now, the latest is that we have 34 students and 4 teachers to cater to these students. Now, the problem here is not only the road connecting this place, because this is one of the oldest roads around in the area. I've been there, and I can vouch for the fact that it's going to be extremely difficult for people to travel on this route during the monsoons because there's no real road there. The school is almost about 3 to 5 kilometers from habitable areas, and it also is close to one Khaldang Soma, which is the main village around that place. Now, Khaldang Soma residents have just told me about this fact that 2 of these teachers actually retired just this year, following which the problem started. Now, the condition of the infrastructure of the school is, of course, up for debate because when I went there, the rooms are still okay. At least if you look at the previous cases that we reported, the rooms are still usable. But there is another section of the building that is still there that is not used at all. Now, the problems and the issues that the locals had raised was the fact that midday meals, 15 days of midday meals have been provided in the last 6 months. They say it could be even lesser. Whereas the headmaster of the school is actually taking all these provisions for midday meals to his own house, which is actually against the policy itself, against the act itself. He says that if people actually come to know that we have so much of food in the school, they may cause a scene. Now, this is one. The second part is the fact that the villagers have alleged that the SMC has not been consulted in terms of recruitment of 2 teachers. And this is where the main issue has become. And the SDSEO was informed on this, and a complaint was sent to the director, after which the CRC of the area came to this place to talk to these people. Now, what happened, what transpired is still to be known, but then the villagers stated very clearly that the CRC and the SEO has actually been more or less in favor of the school headmaster and the president. Now, what the results of the investigation, of course, will be due soon. But as of now, all the 34 students that were there, at least a few of these students have dropped out because of the aggressive nature of one of the teachers in the school. And I actually have a interview of one of these boys who was beaten up and quit school because he could not take the torture that was being presented. Now, this is a condition that has been going on in a lot of schools.
Yes, Biplav, as you mentioned just now, unfortunately, many students had to drop out because of the condition of the school. And Biplav, interestingly, the school falls under Resu Belpara constituency, represented by none other than the Deputy Speaker of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, Timothy Shira. So the government has a lot to answer.
Definitely, the government has a lot to answer. Now, you can't really just wash away your own responsibility by the fact that this is endemic in the entire education system, saying 35 years, 45 years of neglect. However, you got seven and a half years to actually correct what we've received reports of 44.5 lakh rupees being provided to set up new schools or new infrastructure within schools. 2 of these schools I know for sure have only been given 2.5 years to be constructed, but only thing that we found is pillars. Now, this is systemic. It is about a neglect that has been going on for ages. Now, the problem here is that even in our current system that we are actually following in Meghalaya, the DSCO, office of the DSCO or the district office that we have no say on the infrastructure problems that are being faced. Everything is actually being routed through the head office in Shillong. Now, most of these people, most of these officers in the districts have, more or less shunted themselves out from any kind of development because no matter how much they push through, it doesn't get through. So that is one of the challenges that is currently being faced by all these institutions that we are talking of.
Right, Biplab, thank you so much for all those details.